While Trump was still counting the aftershocks of Skyfall, the Russian missile, which flew for 15 hours with no destination, something else was moving in silence. But this time, it wasn't in the sky, it was in the depths. A colossal object launched from Russia's far north without an announcement, without a launch flash, and without a thermal signature. It advanced through the sea as if searching for a city not merely to strike, but to erase. It wasn't a submarine nor an ordinary torpedo, but a monster carrying a nuclear reactor in its core, capable of diving 1,000 meters deep and unleashing a radioactive wave capable of wiping entire coastlines off the map. Putin wasn't satisfied with Skyfall. He wanted to show us what comes after it. And the question haunting Trump and his allies now isn't how this nightmare works, but rather who could stop it once it starts. Shocking secrets and hidden details. We reveal them now about one of the most mysterious Russian weapons ever kept secret for decades. Stay with us until the end. Poseidon under the microscope. What Russia has unleashed bears no resemblance to a traditional torpedo, nor can it even be compared to compact attack submarines. It represents an entirely new category of underwater weapons. From the outside, it looks like a long metallic capsule, but inside, a nuclear heartbeat, driving a body weighing more than 90 tons that knows no rest. Poseidon isn't fired from a regular torpedo tube. It's carried inside specially modified nuclear submarines, most notably the Belgorod K329. Currently the largest submarine in the world, stretching more than 180 meters in length. When the order is given, a massive hatch opens beneath the submarine's hull and Poseidon slides quietly into the depths. No flash, no roar, as if the sub were releasing nuclear embryo into the ocean. The weapon itself measures between 19 and 24 meters long, about the length of a city bus, with a diameter of 1.6 to 2 meters and an estimated weight of nearly 100 tons, making it more like a crewless mini submarine than a torpedo, but with the speed of one and the mind of a nuclear bomb. Its massive body conceals an integrated nuclear propulsion system, side stabilizers, and a pressure hull capable of surviving depths beyond 1,000 meters. The nuclear engine. Here lies the core of the terror. Poseidon is equipped with a miniaturized nuclear reactor that uses an automatic cooling system to power a thermoelectric propulsion unit, meaning it needs no conventional fuel and suffers no limits of range or endurance. No one knows its exact operational lifespan, but Western assessments suggest it can travel thousands of kilometers underwater non-stop for months. This nearly silent engine relies on a closed propeller system inside a propulsion tube, with bladder stabilizers allowing it to maneuver, adjust depth, and change direction without producing a detectable acoustic signature. Reports indicate the reactor activates automatically once the torpedo is a safe distance from its carrier, meaning Poseidon first leaves the submarine under minimal conventional thrust, then, at a preset point, the nuclear core ignites, a fact confirmed by Putin himself when he announced, "We have successfully activated the nuclear engine." While standard torpedoes travel at speeds of 50 to 70 km per hour, Poseidon is believed to exceed 100 km per hour underwater, thanks to its steady nuclear propulsion and hydrodynamic pressure hull design. Yet, speed is the most frightening factor. Depth is: Poseidon is designed to dive to 1,000 meters or more into what the military calls the Forbidden Zone, a realm unreachable by anti-submarine defenses or intercepting torpedoes. At the depth, it moves like a seismic shadow beneath the ocean, nearly impossible to track, impossible to intercept, especially with its nuclear reactor keeping it in a silent standby mode for weeks or months, awaiting only the activation command. The Warhead. Poseidon's danger doesn't lie solely in its silence, depth, or invisibility, but in what it carries inside. Although Russia has never officially revealed the full specifications, what Putin and senior military figures have said is enough to gauge its threat. The torpedo was designed to carry a massive nuclear warhead, estimated at up to 2 megaton, or roughly 130 times the power of Hiroshima, but Western sources based on satellite imagery and modeling of Russia-design parameters believe some variants could carry warheads as powerful as 50 to even 100 megaton, matching the yield of the legendary Tsar Bomba, which is the most powerful nuclear explosion ever created by humankind. If detonated underwater at the right depth, it wouldn't simply explode. It would trigger a multi-layered catastrophe, a man-made radioactive tsunami tens of meters high, sweeping across coastlines and erasing everything in its path. The blast would also leave long-term radioactive contamination, while the shockwave and pressure pulse would obliterate undersea infrastructure, gas pipelines, global data cables, submarine docks. As one US military analyst grimly noted, if Poseidon detonated near New York, Russia wouldn't need to launch another missile. Guidance systems of the blind weapon. One of the most terrifying questions about Poseidon isn't its speed or payload, but how it finds its way across thousands of kilometers of ocean. With no crew and no connection to satellites, how can a weapon this massive travel silently and still reach its target in a realm where GPS and radio navigation don't exist? The answer lies in Russia's philosophy of autonomy. Poseidon depends on a fusion of inertial navigation and pre-mapped ocean floor terrain data loaded into its memory before launch. Inside the torpedo, a sealed navigation unit houses ultra-precise gyroscopes and accelerometers, updating its position without external signals. With every mile it travels, it adjusts itself according to seafloor contours and its stored route profile. It's also believed to carry advanced massive sonar arrays. It doesn't emit active pings that reveal its location. It simply listens to the ocean around it, comparing what it hears with an acoustic map of the sea. Like a submarine that listens to the world without ever speaking. Some reports even suggest basic AI algorithms that allow Poseidon to make on-the-spot decisions if its environment changes. Say, a hostile submarine appears or a sudden depth shift occurs. It can then reroute, evade, or reposition itself autonomously. Given that the weapon may travel for months, the accumulated navigation error must remain near zero. A technological feat still debated by Western experts. Yet, if its mission is to strike an entire coastal city, accuracy might not even matter. Only arrival does. That's why many have dubbed it the blind genius weapon. It doesn't see, it doesn't speak, but it still finds its mark. The dark side. The weapon that could devour its maker. For all its supposed power and limitless range, Poseidon may be just as dangerous to its creators as to its enemies. The first and greatest fear: loss of control. Once launched, Poseidon cannot be recalled, contacted, or remotely shut down. It's a one-way weapon. If its guidance fails, or its propulsion malfunctions, or its reactors suffer damage, no one can intervene. It will keep swimming through the ocean, directionless, autonomous, a ghost nuke wandering the deep. If the reactor were ever to fail or the torpedo were to break apart at depth, the result could be an environmental catastrophe. A miniature nuclear reactor resting on the seabed, leaking uranium and plutonium for years, poisoning vast marine ecosystems unseen. Then comes the moral nightmare. Poseidon wasn't designed to strike warships or military bases, but to drown cities with radioactive tsunamis. That alone makes its direct use a global red line, even in total war, since the fallout would span continents and affect nations far from the battlefield. Technically, Poseidon still remains experimental. Though Putin has confirmed the activation of its reactor, there has never been a full-range test with a live nuclear warhead. Everything we know is a blend of power display, partial trials, and psychological warfare. Even within Russia, some fear the weapon could turn from strategic deterrent into a technological curse. A rough nuclear phantom drifting through the sea with no master and no end. Do you believe the Poseidon test is Putin's final card? The one that could force Trump to back down before the war in Ukraine is decided? Share your thoughts below and don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this episode.